Unit 6 Endangered Species IELTS Speaking Part 1 Question 1. Do you enjoy spending time in nature? Answer. Yes, I love spending time in nature because it helps me relax and appreciate the beauty of fauna and flora. Whenever I get the chance, I visit a wildlife sanctuary to see animals in their natural habitat. Last summer, I went on a trip to a national park where I saw rare birds and even learned how bees pollinate flowers. I believe that protecting nature is important because deforestation and widespread logging can have catastrophic effects on the environment. Question 2. How do you help protect the environment? Answer. I try to do small things every day to reduce my personal footprint. For example, I use biodegradable products instead of plastic, and I make sure to properly dispose of lightweight plastics so they don't get tangled in the environment. I also try to save water by avoiding watering the lawns too often. I believe that if everyone takes small steps, we can halt and reverse the destruction of our planet. IELTS Speaking Part 2. Describe an environmental problem that concerns you. You should say what the problem is, what causes it, how it affects people and nature, and explain what can be done to solve it. One environmental problem that really concerns me is species endangerment. Many animal species are under threat due to severe overexploitation, habitat destruction, and pollution. Some species are even on extinction's doorstep, and if we don't take action soon, they might disappear forever. One of the biggest reasons for species loss is deforestation. Many forests are being destroyed to make palm plantations, which not only reduces tree cover but also leaves animals unprotected against predators. Another major issue is climate change, which is disrupting marine ecosystems and putting aquatic life at risk. This has a long-lasting impact on the environment because when one species disappears, it affects the entire food chain. For example, if a predator species is wiped out, the prey population might grow too quickly, disrupting the process of natural balance. To solve this problem, governments need to set up more wildlife refuges and strengthen conservation laws. People can also take action by supporting organizations that form a charitable trust dedicated to wildlife protection. If we all take notice of the problem and sign petitions against harmful activities, we can help halt and reverse the destruction before it's too late. IELTS Speaking Part 3 Question 1. What are the biggest environmental threats today? Answer. One of the biggest environmental threats today is the alarming rate of deforestation, which is causing land erosion and the loss of biodiversity. Human activities such as severe overexploitation, illegal hunting, and pollution are also doing harm to ecosystems. Another major issue is plastic pollution, where people dump waste into streams and oceans, harming aquatic life. In my opinion, stricter environmental policies are needed to prevent these destructive effects. Question 2. What can individuals do to protect the environment? Answer. Individuals can take simple but effective actions to protect the environment. For example, they can reduce their plastic use, properly dispose of waste, and switch to biodegradable products. People can also use less energy by reducing their reliance on power plants, which release CO2 into the atmosphere. Another important step is participating in conservation projects or supporting organizations that form a charitable trust to help wildlife and the environment. If more people take a stand and demand change, governments will be forced to take stronger action.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Eco Watch Center. Today, I'll be giving you a quick overview of the center and the projects we're involved in, many of which focus on the conservation of biodiversity and the impact of human activities. First, let's talk about deforestation. One of the biggest concerns globally is the alarming rate of deforestation, especially in regions where widespread logging is still legal. Forests are often cleared to make way for agriculture or construction, including power plants, which has catastrophic effects on fauna and flora. For instance, many animals are left unprotected against predators when trees are removed. To reduce this impact, we encourage tree planting and sustainable forestry. We also discuss land erosion, another outcome of tree removal. Without roots to hold soil, land becomes unstable. In extreme cases, it can disrupt natural processes and even affect food production. We also educate visitors about pollution. Human actions, such as driving or industrial production, release CO2 into the atmosphere, which adds to climate change. Some factories discharge harmful substances into rivers, damaging aquatic ecosystems. We try to promote better habits. For example, using energy sparingly and choosing renewable sources can help. We also advise against acting recklessly with natural resources, such as overusing water or electricity. Finally, we cover issues related to health and disease. Poor environmental management can lead to the spread of infectious diseases, some of which are highly contagious. In this context, our center provides advice on how to protect the immune system and improve hygiene practices. If you have questions after the tour, feel free to ask. Thank you for your attention. Part 2, Reading Environmental Threats and Conservation Actions. Drive. Layla Ahmed, a marine biologist, has studied the effects of pollution on oceans for over 20 years. She explains that hazardous pollutants, including herbicides and pesticides, can disseminate through the food chain and do harm to marine species and human health. According to her, water pollution also leads to degrading soil along the coast and destroys fish habitats. She says, "What happens in the ocean doesn't stay in the ocean, it returns to us in the food we eat." Tomás Rivera, an ecologist from Costa Rica, works on controlling exotic species introduced intentionally or accidentally into natural habitats. He shares that many invasive species prey on local wildlife or destroy their food sources. One tiny fish can cause outright extinction if it takes over a river system, he says. Tomás recently helped push for a law that forbids the trade of non-native reptiles, in response to public pressure. Mei Lin Chen, an environmental activist in Taiwan, organizes awareness campaigns about plastic pollution. She often warns that when people dispose of lightweight plastics, animals can get tangled or ingest bacteria from polluted water. Mei Lin promotes using biodegradable products and encourages people to sign a petition against plastic waste. She believes that even small actions like recycling at home can reduce plastic's long-term damage. Samuel Okoro, a water engineer in Nigeria, worries about water misuse in cities. He says people often water the lawns during hot seasons and waste scarce resources. He is also concerned about mine and mineral extraction near palm plantations, which leads to severe overexploitation of the land. This, Samuel says, lies at the root of most causes of soil destruction. Paragraph E. Fatima Al-Hassan, founder of the wildlife group, Save the Wild, believes in protecting endangered species through captive conservation. Her team recently helped save lions that were on extinction's doorstep. Her group operates several wildlife refuges and is supported by charitable trusts. Our work is dedicated to animals under threat, but we also rely on public involvement. Every person who casts a vote or speaks up can help make change.